Okay, and we're back. Sorry. Shall I be all diva-ish and put my sunglasses on so you can't see that I'm like all red and splotchy? Whoop whoop. No, I look like an idiot like that. Not that we care. I don't need those on my head, do I? Yeah, so the other thing that I think I'm feeling very overwhelmed about, sorry, I've got a rash on my chest, can you see? Nice. Is I've had I had quite a really important appointment a few weeks ago with the pain consultant, and he is basically my GP is really unhappy with the amount of medication I'm on, and she referred me to him, and he's now referred me to a nurse. So I had a phone call from the nurse today, and originally what my GP had said was that she just wanted to stop all of my pain medication and take me off everything, obviously like over time. But after like 4 years, it's taken us 4 years to get to a point where I feel like my pain is being managed effectively, in the sense of, yes, I am still in a lot of pain all the time, but I can function. There's more days that I can be up and about. Obviously, if I rest, I have to rest like every half an hour, every hour. I have to stop what I'm doing and rest. But it's being managed. But they've now decided that I'm on too much medication and they want to stop it all. And I really don't want to end up in a wheelchair. Because that's where I'll be. That's where I'll end up. I'll end up in a wheelchair because I'll be in so much pain. So anyway, I spoke to her this morning. She sounded lovely. I'm sure she will be lovely. But yeah, it's quite. It's very overwhelming, and it's made me. I think for the first time ever, I practice mindfulness and meditation as a way of controlling my pain and the enormity of having a disease that you know there's no cure for. Recently, certainly, it's been made much worse by all of this medication change talk, or whatever you want to call it. I've, for the first time, been thinking about the future and what the future holds for me and for my family. And that's very daunting. Very, very daunting. I'm so sorry. I want to do this though, and I want to put it out there because people need to know how hard it is to live with a chronic disease. And I think all of us, everyone who suffers, we're embarrassed and we're ashamed of our suffering, and we shouldn't be, because it is a part of our life. It is a huge part of our life. It explains a lot about our personalities and everything. And I want to be brave enough to post this kind of stuff, because the thing that means most to me is when I get messages or comments on the video or private messages from people to say that one of my films has made them feel less lonely. And if I can just touch one person, or, you know, a handful of people with this channel, and make them feel like they're not alone in this, and that there are other people out there who really get it, really, really get it, then that's all I can ask for, really, because I don't want anyone to feel as overwhelmed and isolated as I do. So although it's really hard to film yourself and stick it up on YouTube for everyone to watch you sat there crying, I want to do it because I want people to know that they're not alone. And I want to build a community around this channel of people who can support each other and be there for each other. And it's really hard to think about where I am now, and I'm still quite young, you know, I've now tipped the scales of my 20s. I'm closer to 30 than I was before, obviously. But the idea of, okay, well, this is where I am now. What about in 10 years' time? What about in 20 years' time? What about in 30 years' time, you know? What about when I'm a little old lady? And I'm completely overwhelmed by all of that at the minute. So I'm trying really hard to kind of be calm and stay calm and be channeled and everything. But it's really tough. And at the minute, I think I'm kind of stuck on the future, thinking about the future, you know, having a complete medication overhaul is going to be a huge thing to go through, and it's just so disappointing because we've tried for 4 years to get my pain to a point where I can have a life, and it feels like now that is going to be taken away from me just because of some bloody statistics and, you know, targets of what people should be on and what people shouldn't be on. I've always been really pro alternative therapy, and there's a lot of research, you know, around and about that says that HMS and EDS responds much better to alternative therapy, pain management, than medication, because for whatever reason we don't respond in the same way as everybody else does to medication. But there is no funding available to pursue that. So it's, you know, I know what could be the holy grail and what could really help me with my pain, so I could come off all the meds. I never wanted to be on medication. I never wanted to go down that route, taking all of these pills, you know. I've always been so pro-natural, you know, approaches to pain. Hang on, sorry.